All right, everybody. Hello. Welcome back to Team Fortress TV, where we're bringing you the continued coverage of ESEA-Invite Season 21. We have two matches for you tonight. Count them, two. The first between Running with Scizors versus EVL Gaming. And then at 11 o'clock, we'll be bringing you another. That's EVL versus I'm not quite sure who. But before we get into all that, I am BloodSire. Joining me with the camera work tonight is Marblr, and over on the mic, my very special pleasure to cast with Avast. How's it going, Avast?
It is doing, well, it is going great, BloodSire. And that second game that you're talking about is EVL Gaming versus Hands Off, actually.
Yeah, I had no idea. I really didn't have any idea.
That is the second
I
game.
tried to cover it up a little bit, but I didn't really get there. So thank you for that. Well, we do have, like we said, two matches to get into very quickly. So we are going to try to get those to you as fast as we can. So Avast, maybe if you want to pick a roster of your choosing so we can get underway.
I'm going to choose the Running with Scizors roster because they're people that I know personally and I've played against and with them, type of thing. So I think I'll choose that roster. We're going to be seeing Sky on Medic, Jarrett on Demo, and these are players that most of them are pretty new, actually, on the Running with Scizors roster, except for Jarrett's been an invite previously, Rakuso's been on invite on the old Yomi's roster, but pretty much everyone else is new to invite, with Sky being new, then their Pocket Deathy, who is new to invite, Evil Mr. Muffins on Scout, and Sin on the other Scout. So a pretty well-rounded team, bunch of IM Move-It players, two older Invite players that have played on some pretty decent teams, with Rakuso being on the Yomis. So I think it's a pretty solid all-around roster.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're playing pretty well this season. Of course, they want to get some more wins. But I think heading into Invite, they've been doing a good job of showing that they are a solid team, a coordinated team, players with individual talent all around. And how you mentioned, there are a lot of players that are competing in Invite for the first time. And if you take a look at the on the other side at the Titanium White roster, you do have some Invite veterans there. You have over on Demo Man, UNF. So he is a player that we've seen time and time again throughout the seasons in Invite. Sezco on Scout. His partner is Phelps. Farns and Dagger on Soldier, and their medic Kig. So some new blood, some old blood, and they are trying to find their way. Sort of a little bit of a pug team that are trying to meld some old players with some new and have it working out for them. Whereas over on the Running with Scizors side, like you mentioned, a lot of new talent, but talent nonetheless. And tonight on Gullywash, we're going to have to see, which team can sort of right the ship, which team is going to be able to kick the season off on the right foot here. Because, we did mention both these teams are looking for wins. Obviously, they haven't had the success that they've wanted so far early in the season, but it is only week 3. So we're going to have to see if they can do it here versus a team that is also hungry.
Yeah, definitely. They're trying to they're sort of on the edge right now with I believe both teams. I know for sure Running with Scizors currently has a 1-2 record, where a 1-2 record with 1 win and 2 losses. And actually, Titanium White, hWhite, as I like to say, Titanium hWhite. Though, is that the correct way you're supposed to pronounce their name?
I think it's White.
White?
Yeah, it's Titanium White.
Yeah, Titanium White is has a little bit worse roster. I should say record 3-1 with a recent loss, because they came out pretty strong in the season. BloodSire with a good game versus Hands Off, but then they just had a recent pretty devastating loss, in my opinion, versus the Bugs on Viaduct, 4-0 sort of washout. And they're looking to both teams are sort of trying to get some equilibrium here with their wins and losses.
So what was the record for Titanium White?
Titanium White is
right.
It is currently at 3-1, I should say 1-3.
Right,
1 win,
right.
3 losses.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, like we mentioned, both teams, they do want to get more wins under their belt. Of course, the top 4 of Invite are looking pretty steady. We did see EVL start the season off strong, and we'll be casting their match later. But to get there, to get yourselves up to mid-invite and potentially have the opportunity to knock one of those 3, 4, 5 teams out of the running so you can get yourselves into playoffs. That really you need to build out that foundation early on. You need to start to get those wins now when you can. And against a team that's also struggling, whether it be running with Scizors or if you are running with Scizors Titanium White, then now's the opportunity to do that. So this is, an important match, even though it is so early on in the season. We are going to get to see how these teams get to compete or will compete on Gully Wash. Now, Avast Gully Wash being one of those maps which is kind of has explosive middles. We see Soldiers time and time again with those huge, quick early bombs over middle. Then it starts to slow down a little bit around Spire, and then it almost grinds to a halt on last. So we're really going to get to see how these teams can play when the moment boils down to that singular Uber execution when pushing last, how they're able to hold without the Uber, how they're able to repush once they get it, or when they're lacking advantage. So I'm very excited to see that from these new early blood teams. It looks or it appears to be that we are waiting for some more players to enter the server, which is very bad on them, Avast, because like we said, we do have another match that we're going to cast at 11 o'clock. It's scheduled. So all things permitting, we will be able to go right from this one into that one.
Yeah, definitely. I'm shaking my head at them. I'm shaking my head, BloodSire.
They're jerks, really.
But yeah, I agree. This is gonna be a pretty explosive game. I think they're both teams that definitely have the possibility to earn their mid-invite spot. I mean, it's still pretty early season, so maybe we get upsets where they could even win playoffs. But I think most people are looking for these teams to be mid-invite, and they can definitely still get themselves there.
And it's almost an audition for both teams and for the players on both teams. I don't know what they plan to do in later seasons individually or as a team, but when you finally make it into invite, and you get to show everybody, our viewers, us casting, the other invite players, what you're made of, how you can play, how you can compete at this level. You really sort of put your hat in there, or your name in the hat, to have future plans in Invite TF2 to play at the top level. Maybe you form, maybe these teams, they don't quite make it themselves into next season, but they kind of split and they form a super team out of these two. You never know. Or maybe the experience that they get this go in Invite this season strengthens them for the seasons to come. So it's always great to see these new teams with the new talent break into Invite and show us what they can do, how they can compete, because this is the top level. You can't go any higher. This is 6v6 ESEA-Invite, the very tippy top that you can go here in North America, and some might say the world. And very shortly, as we do see now, both teams sitting at 5 apiece. Once they get their last 2 stragglers, very naughty stragglers, we will be going live.
Yeah, definitely. They're just so naughty, BloodSire. Just I'm just laughing at the use of the word naughty here because I'm mature. But I agree. I think that a lot, on the Titanium White side, that these are a lot of long-time players for the most part. They've been around a while, especially who's like a long-standing TF2 player. Used to be called Forever I Am But I think and most of this Running with Scizors team is pretty new. And even if they do split up, I'm pretty sure a lot of them are pretty hungry to do well in Invite in the coming seasons. So we'll probably be seeing them more.
Yeah, and it's great to see them, form these new teams, break into Invite, and give us a little bit of a show here. Titanium White with that tag Ross, because if you were confused, it sounded like you might have been confused when we were questioning how to pronounce White. Titanium White is a meme because we're always trying to bring you the dankest memes here on Team Fortress TV.
No, I'm up to date on the meme.
Oh, you're up to date on the meme?
I'm a meme-mancer, actually. When I play, like, RPGs, some people play Necromancer, some people play Spellcasters. I play meme-mancer, and I control memes. So I love memes, BloodSire, in all their forms.
I'm sorry, I didn't anticipate your quality of memeness, but now that I know, I'll never question it again. But yeah, they're running Ross for Bob Ross, and they do have 6 in the server. So running with Scizors, maybe their last member impaled himself when he was running with those scissors. He is not here yet. And who is it, by the way? Do we know?
It looks like we're missing someone from the Titanium White roster, and I think it's their other soldier.
Oh, it is. It is Titanium White who
Yeah.
haven't been here. Oh, okay.
I think
Maybe they
they're
just need to
missing.
beat the devil out of somebody real quick.
They're missing. They're missing. No, it looks like. Who are they missing actually? Looking
Well,
for.
do we have Kig? Is Kig here?
Kig's
Yeah,
in there.
Kig's here.
They have They have Dagger. They have Phelps. Oh, they're missing Farns. They're missing Farns. No, Farnsworth is in there too. Who are they missing?
And they have Sesko. Where's
They
Dagger?
must be missing someone. No, Dagger's in there. We're missing someone. I think they're actually all in there. Am I losing my mind?
Yeah, no, yeah, it is Running with Scissors. It's Running with Scissors.
No, you're right.
who's
They're missing. They're actually missing their namesake.
Damn it, Avast.
Yeah, you were right, BloodSire. I doubted you.
All right, so now we can enthrall our viewers with the mission of trying to find out who's missing on the Running with Scissors side. We have Sen, Jarrett, Sky. Do we have Rakuso?
Nope, we don't have Rakuso.
Okay, so Rakuso.
Classic Rakuso.
Tell me about what makes this classic. Tell me about
what makes this classic. I'll tell you why it's classic. Rakuso is a good for nothing slacker, and he just doesn't get in. He just doesn't get into the games when we want him to. He's always killing pugs. Just classic Rakuso move overall. BloodSire.
All right, so everyone can yell at Rakuso later. We basically just ran his name through the gutter here. But as we should, because like we mentioned, we want to get things going. We only have 19 more minutes before our next match is scheduled. Now, of course, the next two teams to play have been courteous enough to allow themselves to wait for us to finish here, because we want to bring you guys as much coverage of this season as possible. There are great things happening for Team Fortress 2. I don't know if anybody heard, but there is probably maybe going to be an update maybe at some point during this week. Kappa, I don't know. Yeah, so there's lots of great things happening, not just on the developer side, but on the community side as well. Of course, we have PugChamp that just came out. There's TF2 Stadium, all these great things. A lot of people putting a lot of work into Team Fortress 2. And like we did kind of hint at, there looks like there is going to be some developer support coming in later down in the pipeline. So this is the time where we want to bring you guys all of the most bestest is of TF2. I think I said that correct, right? Is that how you say things?
Most bestest, I believe. When I'm looking here in the bestest dictionary, it is definitely a term. Most bestest, one word.
That's what I was going for. So according to that dictionary, we're going to try to bring you guys the best content and the most content we can bring, because like we mentioned, Invite is the highest caliber of TF2 we can bring. We want to make sure that all of you guys watching get to see that. So we will be bringing you guys those two matches. Still though, Rakuso being very naughty and not showing up.
His client is the problem. He's fixing his client, BloodSire.
So ESEA is the blame.
Possibly. It could be more than likely that Rakuso has just, with his slacker ways, just not updated the client, and now there's a problem. I don't know. I'm not Rakuso. I'm not currently next to the desk for him, so I don't know what he's done. But it could be anything.
That is unfortunate. Well, later on, we keep talking about it. We keep alluding to it, trying to whet our viewers' palates just a little bit for the later match. Hopefully, they'll show up. But like we said, that is going to be EVL versus Hands Off. And I am very excited to see that one later on, because EVL is a little bit on a tear. They started the season off with a bang, and Hands Off, another team with quality talent, some Invite talent, a little bit of new blood, but another team that has come to play here in Invite. In past seasons, we've had some teams that were just like, yeah, we'll play an Invite. That's cool, and then they go 0-16, not looking to name names. But not these two teams. EVL starting very strong, Hands Off with a solid roster, trying to pick up another win. That we'll be bringing to you later once we finally get this one over with. And as I'm talking, Avast, Rakuso joins the server.
Yes, he has joined now, and it looks like they're finishing readying up now. So the game should be going live now. Actually, yep, they're picking their sides here, BloodSire.
My favorite thing to see is when these two teams pick their sides and we get this white text. Setup class is going live soon. I can't wait. And as we do ready up, we do see that the Running with Scissors side, or the Running with Scissors team, is going to be on the red power side. So with that, let's take a look at Running with Scissors Jarrett. He is the demo man. We'll see what he can do on middle to start his team off. Where he elects to go. He does go top right. Does see a lot of people in big door and puts that sticky in, trying to deny the jumps. Put some damage into that medic. And now joined by his team. Very slow. Here comes the first kill from Evil Muffins, taking down Dagger. And now this is going to allow 8K to run across the point. Farnsworth going to bomb that soldier, take him out, but Rakuso's going to clean him up. Deathy gets another kill onto UNF. And that is going to be a clean, for the most part, clean mid capture for Running with Scizors.
Yeah, it was a pretty passive mid fight there from Titanium White. They really didn't get much ground. They just got bombed early. The soldiers and the scouts Running with Scizors really just taking a lot of aggressive movement and just push them out in the mid to get easy frags there. So a little bit more passive than I would like to see on this first middle of their BloodSire.
They were able to keep Kig alive, so they will have the Uber up to mitigate the offensive Uber that will be coming in soon. And it looks like Running with Scizors want to come in down the riverside. That's at least is where they're bringing their medic, putting up some buffs on their demo man here. And now they're trying to figure out, Avast, where the defense is being situated, what they have to contend with. And as I take a look myself, looks like we have Sezco on heavy and Phelps on sniper.
Yeah, and actually I think the reason they slowed it down is because Sin is now on sniper. And so they're going to be trying to work a sniper pick, probably from the general spot, the most common spots, which are, he's actually peeking river right now, but he could rotate to main, which are generally the two most common spots to snipe from on Gully Watch last.
He's taking it for a walk over here by balcony. There is a soldier underneath, but I'm not sure if he knows. We know because of the glow. He does see that sniper, and he's able to get that headshot onto Phelps. That is going to cue the push because they are up one-man advantage, but he keeps going, says Sen. He's going to like, guys, just let me keep going. I got this. Let me take the charge for a walk as the combo tries to get things going in by Shutter. They're going to pop that Uber. They have that heavy to deal with. The blue Uber is going to come out. Frag goes for Jarrett onto Dagger. Blue Uber being very useful right here as that red Uber wasn't able to get anybody, but Sen is going to collect onto Farnsworth. Dimes 2 on the point. A scout.
Oh my.
He's going to come in through water and get it.
Oh my. BloodSire. I have to say there, that was pretty textbook from Running with Scizors. And honestly, kind of poor read from Titanium White. They just should have watched for that sniper main and for the scout going water. That's such a classic move to get onto the point there.
Yeah, I mean, I assume someone would have been watching the point because, you know, when there's an Uber coming in at you, there's going to be stragglers from the flank trying to get things working their way, and that's exactly what Running with Scizors did. Answering back is going to be Titanium White here as they take down 3, but they lose 3 in the process. Now Evil Muffins is going to take down Phelps. Sezco's going to come in, take down one. Rakuso, though, bombs in, takes down Farnsworth, and we have a 1-on-1 on the point. Scout versus Soldier. Rakuso versus Sezco. Sezco with half the cap being blue-sided is going to finally back up because he realizes that Soldier can just splash him for days, but no, Sezco comes back in. Rakuso now looking around on top, does not have the teammates to help him out. In comes a blue Soldier Dagger to help his scout. And Sezco, being very brave there, is going to allow his team to recap that middle point and not allow for a refight.
Yeah, that was just a pretty slow, methodical middle with the difference maker between the scouts. And actually, Sin's just run in. They're trying to be very aggressive here on Scizors. Dagger's on them. They're very, very hurt on their side. Jared is very weak. They're trapped in the corner, and they get the force off right here. And it's a pretty good pop, actually, from Titanium White. And it was pretty good. But actually, there's going to be Deathy bombing in very fast. Jarrett following up here, BloodSire. This is just a really big fight.
Running with Scizors, running right in through the choke here, taking down a whole lot of bodies with them. Only Farnsworth, Dagger, and Sezco left alive, and they are on their last points. So that is going to be a clean Spire take here on the second of Gullywash. They did have to pop their Uber, but they kept their medic alive, which is more than can be said for the Titanium White team. Their medic did go down, so 45 looks like, yeah, about a 40% advantage in favor of Running with Scizors. And the defense, once again, for Titanium White has to come up big. This time, Avast, they need to make sure they look at their water side.
Yeah, and they will have Sezco on Pyro here. And that push was actually, it was super aggressive, but they played it very well because the focus fire from Titanium just wasn't there. I'm just going to call them Titanium. I feel like that's easier to say Titanium White. And actually, we're going to have a pop here from Uber, a pop here from River, and they're actually denied it really, really well here. The heavy is on point. There's no way they have any cap time at all, but Kig's going to go down. Deathy's going to go down. It's going to be a fight here for this last point.
We do have Evil Muffins from underneath. He's going to take down the Demo Man, get on the point, ×4 on the point with both scouts. And the scouts there at the tail end of the fight off the Uber come in from the flank, clean up, cap the point, put 2 on the board for Running with Scizors and Titanium White. They really don't have an answer so far for this Uber push. Unfortunately, they did lose their medic on that second exchange, so they didn't have Uber to fight off the Running with Scizors. But They did have some good denying, just didn't work out for them. Now we're on mid number 3 here, and both teams are going to lose a player down a demo for that Titanium White team, so they should be looking to get out here. In comes a Bomber. That is Dagger, who gets cleaned up from Jared, who opened up the middle fight with a kill. He's going to end the middle fight with another kill. And once again, running with Scizors, running right through that choke, feeling good about themselves.
Yeah, Jared has been doing so much work right now, BloodSire. He's just been hitting pipes left and right. His aggression has been pretty, I would have to say, just unstopped. They've let Jared do a lot of work. He killed so early in that mid, and it's such a deadly, it's just on every mid, really, to lose your demo early is such a blow, but on Gully Wash 2, where the demo is spamming from height advantage is such a big deal, it was just pivotal for the mid, and there's nothing shutting them down, and is having a hard time sitting there at the bottom of the scoreboard right now, and I'd really like to see some plays coming out from Titanium to sort of counter this.
UNF with 1 point is having a little bit of a trouble here. We're going to have Sen sacrifice himself on the point. That might just be a sacrifice for him to come back as sniper. Over on the blue side, we do see that Phelps is running a defensive sniper. And luckily for Titanium White, they were able to get out of middle with their medic, so they do have Uber to contend with the red offensive Uber. But they are going to lose Dagger. I don't know why he was coming out. Oh my goodness, they're going to lose Sezco as well. Trying to be the hero are these Titanium White players, but really they just gave the picks to running with Scizors, who are going to pop their Uber and come in. Now look for stragglers off the Uber here. That demo man, UNF, in danger of going down, but he's going to back out just in time. And luckily for Titanium White, this Uber and this man disadvantage is actually not going to hurt them too much. Dagger's going to get a kill onto Jared. Red demo down, and very hurt Soldier here on steroids is also going to go down. So Avast, I don't know how, but Titanium White, they hold on.
Well, they got the pick. I mean, Dagger was sacking there, but then they lost another person. We're actually going to get Muffins here at Choke. And Kig actually went down to a body shot from Sin. He peeked from Big Door and got Kig from Big Door right there, BloodSire. Like, that's such a... Once again, these are things that they really should be expecting, BloodSire. Like, the sniper play for Big Door is also another staple of this map, and they should really be checking there to make sure that you don't get peeked.
Yeah, they forgot the situation because they knew that Sen had came in early on before that fight ever happened with the Uber and sacrificed himself. So you have to imagine that was for some reason to go some off class. And most likely that would have been Sniper. So they should have been looking for him out of Big Door when they did push out. Fortunately, they did not, and they're going to find themselves with a big Uber disadvantage once again. Kig now in danger, has to back himself up out of River. And this is going to be a clean second take from running with Scizors once again. Deathy is going to take down Dagger, and the red Uber is actually going to be popped. So Dagger doing something with his life here as Evil Muffins tries to come in, try to get something with that tail end of the Uber. He's going to die and pay for it that way. Blue trying to hold on. They need to make sure they take a look at Rakuso Avast. Rakuso in the back. He's getting ready to back out.
He's gonna get it. It's up to Dagger, really. Dagger's gonna be spawning now. I don't think he's gonna be able to get it. Rakuso's pain train. Oh my goodness.
He's gonna give him, of course, the ×2 cap time. He is running the melee. If you guys don't know who are watching, there's an unlock called the pain train, and I'm sure you know, but it gives you ×2 when you capture, and demo men and soldiers can use it. And Rakuso showing you right there why you do run the risk of taking more bullet damage and using it. And he's able there to basically just win the round for his team. That is a quick 3-0 in favor of running with Scizors.
I honestly, like, it's tough to even call what's, like, there's just a lot of passive middles from Titanium here, and just really, really strong aggression. Really strong aggression from running with Scizors, and just a lack of point presence and a lack of just basic basic awareness, I think, BloodSire, that's really costing Titanium in these fights.
Yeah, it's just running with Scizors seems to be outclassing Titanium, right? Really. I mean, I'm looking at the stats at the half here, and we do see, you know, UNF is 1-6, and the demo man for the blue team, you know, he's got to be putting in more damage, and he can't if he's always dead like that. His damage is sitting at 182 a minute. You know, only 1,569 in the match so far. Over on the running with Scizors side, however, their demo man Jared is sitting at 2,608 total damage, 303 a minute. So a lot more done, and his KD is 9-2. So big differences coming out of the other team's demos, and you know whether or not that's a statement of individual skill, or if it's just an example of how one team can greatly support the efforts of a single player. We don't know, but you know, the demo man for Running with Scizors doing a much better job, at least, of playing with his team and getting that damage in. And Titanium White really do not have an answer for it. They're getting into these bad fights. When they do get into equal footing fights or equal Uber or at middle, they're just not hitting their shots. They're not playing together. Vast, what do they need to do?
Honestly, they need a good mid. They had one pretty decent mid where they sort of did a swap medic where both medics died, and it was just Sezco and Rakuso at the end fighting on the middle. And they need middles that will give their team a chance, because Gully Wash is infamous where if you lose hard on mid, you are almost always going to be immediately on your last. It's really tough to fight second when you're down a huge Uber advantage and you're down players and just don't have any of the positional play. So they really need a better mid to start off. Like, that's just the beginning. And also, if you notice, like, the stats before this round starts, Sky has 0 deaths and 5 Ubers compared to Kig's 4 deaths and 2 Ubers. Ooh. Which is just, I mean, it's pretty much just because they're just staying alive a lot longer, but, like, that they just need a better middle.
A perfect game run here for Sky. See if she can get it. I do have my eye on UNF. The red demo now over for Titanium White side. Let's see if he can finally get things going his way. He's going to have a position to put in a lot of damage here on the running with Scizors time. He's spamming up those stickies, but not really doing it in the damage department. He's going to decide to come up through this elbow. There's a scout on his butt, and there's some scatter pellets now sitting safely lodged in there. He's going to have to visit the respawn before he gets that dislodged. And in the meantime, running with Scizors have capped themselves another middle point, and they are about to get themselves another second point, as they are up very aggressively with both scouts and their medic. At least, though, Kig was able to escape the middle.
Yeah, and they don't want to give up the second point here, BloodSire. They're fighting it very aggressively. The rest of blue isn't quite here yet. They're fighting this point very, very hard. Muffins is dancing around. Deathy is dancing around. They're going to pick up Dagger. Farnsworth is on the demo. Jared is very hurt. They're going to pop up top. It's going to be about an equal exchange here, but there's going to be one player down for both teams.
Ooh, and they are able to get Jared, though, Avast. So that's a really good job from them. That demo, surviving behind the rock the whole time, needed to go down if Titanium White wanted to win this fight, and he did. Now they have to clean up Deathy. Deathy doing 309 damage at this half. Needs to get cleaned up here, as he is a threat and a nuisance over by Rock. Is he going to escape? Jumps out, gets the health pack, and is back on mid like it never even happened. Titanium White coming in through the choke now are a little bit angry.
Yeah, and Muffins is very, very aggressive up on this elbow, doing tons of damage. Dagger's going to bomb in and die. And look at the Farnsworth on point as well. They're going to have to leave this middle point here. It's just going to be Ump and Kig. They need to run very fast. Phelps is actually on Big Door, but he's fighting Rakusa. Rakusa's going to clean him. Actually, Jarrett's going to clean him up. And they're going to be back in their lobby here, 3 down. And this should be a second cap. And actually, Sin is running through lower. He's going to be flanking the medic right now. Oh, no, he's not going to be able to get anything. He'll leave. Oh, but Rakusa is now behind, too. And he's going to pick up Ump.
And Rakuso still going. Yeah, he does take down UNF, so no demo man. He is get cleaned up by UNF. I guess a post-sticky there, or a mutual kill. An artistic decision, really. But the Uber is going to be popped from both teams. Down a player, down a piece are both teams. And the Uber so far not doing much. Dagger's going to take down one. Sezco onto Deathy. Farnsworth onto Jared. So a good hold here, finally, from Titanium White, who off the back of this 3-man advantage need to find themselves pushing out into second. This scout here in danger of going down. Yeah, Phelps is going to clean up
Rakuso spy. Rakuso spy, BloodSire.
Oh,
they just walk past him and lower. No!
And they're not going to be able to cap it. The last point caps faster. And what a heartbreaking turn of events there for Titanium White, because that is 3 times now where essentially they've been back capped, or they've had it capped without anyone contesting the point.
Yeah, it's how have they not learned by this point to have someone watching this last point? Because it's literally, that's a favorite tactic of Rakuso. And here on this next mid, both soldiers are on the ground actually for Titanium, and they're both very hurt. But Deathy's gonna go down here. They're jumping very aggressively. Sezco and Phillips are both picking up a kill. Wow, this is a really good mid. Just really good focus fire from Titanium.
Yeah, Sky with only 23 HP is the last one alive. She is gonna get chased. She is gonna get killed. And already we have Sezco on that second point. Middle is gonna be capped, and it looks like finally the sleeping dog has been awoken here as Titanium White, they finally win themselves in middle. And they are moving up, positioning themselves to maybe win a round.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an equal medic trade here, so equal Ubers. And Dagger is actually hiding in that spot in River. I think he's going to he might be trying to go for a back cap or get the medic. They're all in lobby right now. Dagger could totally go for a back cap. He could really do it. Rakuso's not watching. They're coming back to last snap, but they're just sort of exchanging spam here on second.
almost had an opportunity to give Running with Scissors a taste of their own medicine, but like you said, Dagger has not been spotted, so if any adventuring Running with Scissors players decides to peek over by Riverside, they're going to find some rockets for their efforts. In the meantime, Ubers are building evenly. Oh my goodness. Sen is going to take down Kig, and the Uber's not going to build at all for Titanium White, as Kig is going to visit the respawn. Uber is going to be ticked up at 90% for Sky, and it looks like we have the rest of Titanium White trying to set out to get in here. Lots of frags falling, but not enough. Too much. UNF the last alive. Can he do it versus a scout and a medic? I don't think he can. There are some spawners coming in from Titanium White. Now he has to back it up.
Yeah, they did the right thing. I mean, you really only have two options. You either just try to bait them into the push or push aggressively. And they ended up getting that pick and going for Sky. And if they just hit, if that soldier had hit maybe one more shot, Sky would have gone down there. And we would see a much different outcome for this, for them retaking second, or even just staying on their last. But you know, it is what it is. The shots weren't hit. And we're going to be seeing Titanium here holding. Oh, and actually, Ump's going to pick up Muffins. They're pushing Big Door here, BloodSire.
Yeah, and Phelps is on Sniper. But the Uber's going to come out before he gets a shot at that medic. So right now, he is a little bit gimped here. Can he get that Demo Man? No, he misses the Demo Man. And Rakusu's going to pick up a frag onto Dagger. And so with Titanium White stuck on that Sniper, they're not going to have the presence. But look at that. Phelps is going to prove me wrong and take down Sen. That is the opportunity for some players to come in, get something going. Sezgo's gonna DM down Jarrett. Now he's on the medic. Sky at 96 HP. Sezgo, can he do it? Yeah, he takes down Sky. So Sezgo getting the job done for his team here, keeping them back in the match. Dagger takes down Rakuso. Evil Muffins takes down Sezgo, and we have a scout fight over by Big Door.
Oh, and Muffins is actually just gadding down Phelps there. But Sky did go down, and actually it was kind of a dumb death. I saw her type in chat. Deathy, all caps, because like Deathy just didn't turn around to fight Sezgo. Like Sky was just dancing around on middle, and Deathy just sort of just like nah, and just let her die. So I don't know. It was some interesting team play there. And actually, all of Blue's gonna be up top here. I think they want to spam the second point, not let them get it for free.
Yeah, they probably want to try to get the Uber out of the hands of Kig by way of a bombing, which is basically textbook TF2, and I like to see how Titanium White are not falling into it. They kept their medic back up before they had a full presence on the second point. Now they're pushing in. Fortunately, they are forced to pop very early here, so if Running with Scissors scatter the way that they are scattering, this is going to be a failed Uber. No kills as of yet. In comes Dagger, try to join the party, get some frags for his team. Now scouts are coming in too, but Farnsworth's going to go down. Dagger gets one down, goes Phelps, and Dagger. Sezgo now on the Demo Man is able to take him down, but UNF very hurt, can't join the fight. He's backing up with his medic, and that is going to allow Evil Muffins and his team to slowly creep into second. What is UNF doing?
He might get the force on Sky. Oh my goodness, he hit two really good stickies on Sky there. I mean, he should have died for sure. But oh, they do get the force. Deathy was super low. Sky was 30. This is actually a really bad pop as long as Titanium can kite this.
Opportunity to leapfrog here from Titanium White if they do get their medic and their players out. UNF is very hurt. Dagger is on another 10-second respawn here, but they will have the Uber advantage, and Dagger will be up at that time, surrounding to make sure Running with Scissors does not bully them out of position here on second. If they can hold this choke and hold Big Door, they will have the opportunity to take this Uber to middle. Unfortunately, Deathy's going to push in from Big Door, jump himself up. Evil Muffins is going to creep up into top bottoms, and Sen is going to get the kill onto Sezgo. Now there's a flank. The Vice is tightening for Running with Scissors. Very hurt is Kig, and this Uber is not going to be good when it goes off because they are down 2 players. But Kig has not popped as of yet, and if Titanium White can hold here, which it looks like they can, they've steadied the ship a little bit, Avast. They're going to be able to push when they do have numbers.
This is just, Titanium is just getting, what I can best say is like thrown around. Like they're really just falling right into Running with Scissors' hands here. Like they just pushed Big Door, made them rotate there. Rakusa's going to die, and actually Muffins will die behind too. So interesting. But they do get the force too, because they walk into choke into the stickies for some reason. So they're pushing through choke here. They're going to be looking for a force on Sky, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to be able to get. Actually, they do. Jarrett gets pretty low, and there's going to be a pretty good pop, or pretty bad pop from Sky because all of the Titanium players are going to scatter. But
that was
it was
looking.
sorry, Scrappy.
No, I'm sorry for interrupting you. I do that all the time, and people slap me on the wrist for it. But that was looking so good for Running with Scissors. But then, yeah, they came in, and Sky was forced to pop early, taking away that big advantage. But it looks like Avast that with the bodies that have gone down for Titanium White, they're not going to be able to hold into second. Look at their positioning. They're just nowhere in on second, and all the Running with Scissors are filtering in.
Yeah, the aggression, these big door pushes from running with scissors are just, oh my goodness. Kig was 12 HP. I think he was like 9 actually. Rakusa will go down to but like this aggression, especially the soldier aggression from running with scissors, is just absolutely bullying them out of every position, and like it's just making them shift their players this and that way without actually recognizing what the goal is. And Titanium's just, as I said, getting thrown around here. Deathy's coming up top. He's going to be fighting Sesko possibly. No, Sesko's going to back up. I don't think he wants to take this fight. Oh, he does. He does want to take this fight. Brave Sesko. And here comes Farnsworth as well. They're going to get the Force and River action. A really bad pop. They're coming back to last here.
Bad pop, but in comes Deathy off the back of that tail end of the Uber. Not going to be able to get anything done, and 6 alive for Titanium White here. This is, of course, match point for running with scissors as they are getting ready to approach yet another last. Titanium White on their last leg here. They do lose Dagger. Phelps does clean up Deathy. Now he's fighting Sky. Sky alone with that saw out. He's going to get a swing, but very hurt. 69 HP. The pistol comes out from Phelps. Can he get the kill? Sky DMing this scout, and Phelps is failing here.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god,
he's being embarrassed.
70 HP.
What
a soldier's going to join the fight. Can anybody kill Sky? She's got the saw. Finally, she's going to give up and say, guys, this is ridiculous. Just kill me. I need to respawn.
Oh my goodness, that was... Yeah, I think that play on Sky pretty much sums up this match for Titanium right now, because they're having a hard time. They're having a hard time, BloodSire. And they're going to be hitting around mid. They're going to pick up Rakuso and just securing this mid with a pretty full Uber advantage. And Muffins will be sniper. I'm assuming he's going to be playing from forward. Yeah, he is in forwards. He's going to wait. He's going to be doing the little forward hide, peeking when they come through choke here. And, oh, he's peeking. Oh, they know, they know. Kig should not drop to... Kig drops to this! BloodSire, please!
Oh my goodness, textbook play, and a nice play coming out from Evil Muffins. Recognize the situation. Of course, we were able to see the glow on our screens, but he had his teammates calling the play for him. He knew exactly when to peek that door and go for the shot. Gets the 150 damage body shot on to Kig. Kig loses that Uber. The second point has been recapped for running with scissors, but hold the phone. UNF's going to get a sticky trap on both Evil Muffins and Sen. No scouts on the blue side, but really, it's just a little bit of a wrench in the works here as they have no presence to contend middle right now. Dagger looks like he's trying to make a play underneath the point, and finally, in come the Titanium White team. They finally are going to get control of this middle point, try to lock it down, but look, they are at a huge Uber disadvantage.
Yeah, definitely. But luckily, did do a really good play there. Even though he died, he slowed down the cap a lot. And Deathy's just pushing so aggressively here. They just need to be spamming Deathy. Dagger is literally just walking forward, and he's finally cleaned up. And it looks like they're going to be bullied out here mid now. And something I would like to see, BloodSire, is Dagger just, I don't feel, is being very effective with his lives as a roamer. And they're pushing through big door here. There's going to be an early pop. Kig should not get cut. Okay, Kig has been cut out. So rest in peace, Kig. So it looks like this is definitely going to be a second cap here for running with scissors, as they clean up Sesko as well, and they're going to have big Uber ad.
And it's totally clean. Another clean take of second. Not one person was lost in that exchange on second for running with scissors. And now they are up again in about a 30% Uber advantage. They are going to take down Dagger, who, like you said, and I absolutely agree, is not being smart with his lives. He's basically just running in and dying. The desperation heavy comes out, but it's not going to be enough. Because on the point was Rakuso from the basement. He's going to get on the point, and once again, running with scissors capped point via no contestation from the red team.
That was just... That, honestly, I would... If I was Titanium, I would be like... This would be like one of those, you know, the underdog tales where, they challenge the big bully super team to a rematch after being stomped. Because this... I feel like this wasn't the best showing for Titanium because, like, either they just forgot what big door was and forgot what the point was. Like, maybe they've all suffered just, like, terrible head trauma right before this match. Because I felt like I've seen these players before. They've been around for a while. And this is just very basic stuff that I felt like they just weren't addressing, BloodSire.
No, a lot of big mistakes from them. And, sometimes the opponent beats you. Sometimes you beat yourself. I feel like in this situation, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. They did allow running with scissors to win rounds based off key mistakes that they made, but at the same time, running with scissors saw that was happening, seized the opportunity, and used it to bully and basically throw around, like you said before, throw that around Titanium White. They put them against the ropes. They really never let them get off. Even when we had a little bit of shining light from Titanium White, they just were not able to beat the devil out of running with scissors. They just needed to tap, tap, tap a little bit more on their mice, a little bit more on their mouse to get those kills. They weren't able to do it, but we do have another match in front of us, and maybe Avast, maybe this second match will be a little bit more of a back and forth.
Yeah, definitely. I think this next match is gonna be a little bit more exciting. EVL, my boys. I'm very excited to see how they do in this match. And hands off as well. I got some player interviews actually in a pug the night before BloodSire, and I was hearing Slamberg, the infamous Slamberg, saying it was going to be a 5-0 for his team. And I heard Nursey say that it was going to be a 5-0 for her team. So really, we're hearing some competing views. And I heard Patty, an impartial observer, say it was going to be a 5-3 for both teams. I think either team. So
we have some wild predictions being thrown around.
Yeah, we do
from my team, but it's good to see that both teams are at least feeling good and feeling strong. And they both feel like they can bring it and take down the other. Of course, EVL started the season off very strong. Hands off, we did mention they're sitting at 2 losses right now and 1 win. That win was against Bird Noises. They did lose, actually. Hands off lost to Titanium White on Snakewater by a score of 5-4. So I don't know if we can take anything from that. One match is not the other. Of course, every new match is its own thing. But if that is any indication, EVL might have the upper hand in here, based off what we just saw of the caliber of play from Titanium White.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm giving the edge to EVL for sure, because hands off is in many ways, in my opinion, the spiritual successor of Meat Market. And they have a very particular play style, where it's sort of Madman reminiscent, I would say, BloodSire, since they have one of the original Madman players on their team with Blank. Super hyper aggressive, just tons and tons of just non-stop aggression, because both Slamberg and Blank really love to play that way. And I think this is a map that really facilitates that, because of the explosive play you can see from soldiers, especially on middles, and just coming through big door and like up into lobby and stuff like that. But I know EVL is very comfortable in this map, especially Assassin, because he is just an absolute lord. So he'll be definitely looking to shut down those flanks. But I think we're going to see a pretty good match.
Of course, the other thing that we need to mention here is EVL currently sitting at 4-0 on the season. So somebody has to dethrone these guys. It wasn't Team Solo Uber in week 1 on Snakewater. It wasn't Titanium White last week, and it wasn't Bird Noises last week as well on their second match of Viaduct. So maybe Gullywash isn't their map, and Hands Off can do it this time around. Like you mentioned, they do have Blank on Hands Off does. They do have Blank on their roster. They do have some seasoned players. So they are definitely going to need to get it done, because, I mean, this team EVL, they are just looking very strong, and they are very, very surprising.
Yeah, definitely. These are players, like, I had played on this team last season, and we had been and they'd all wanted to improve for sure. And they made some really strong picks with friends we've known for a while, up and coming players like Assassin and Slimnish, and Bot Mode as well, who's been around a while, but had made his impact for sure on IM. And these are all players that really want to improve, that have a drive to win. And I'm thinking that the only real weakness they have, BloodSire, is that they have 2 people with bedtimes, with little old Slimnish and Eric, just young gamers, very young gamers. In fact, Eric is the youngest gamer to be an invite. He broke Frio's old record. So
how old is he?
He's like barely 15.
Wow. Well,
yeah.
Banny, a young Banny was very young, but I don't know if he was an invite back then. But when I met Banny, he was like 14 years old, and times have changed, and now he's an old man.